Good morning, everybody. Ah, 54 degrees here in the parking lot. It is Thursday, and it's a good day. Why? Because we're not scheduled to work this weekend. That's why. I love it. They're running around asking people if they wanted to work Sunday, and some of them like, no. It's like, sorry, but you're working us 9-hour days all week. Then we're 2 weeks Saturdays, 1 week without. 2 weeks Saturday, 1 week without. It's like I'm not sticking my head under the axe, just because they don't want to put on another shift. Because basically we're caught now in a never-ending cycle of 9-hour days. Hell, when I first came to work for this place, and we won't name what it is, but it was literally 7 to 3 p.m. And because all we got was 2 20-minute breaks, we didn't even bother with the half-hour lunch. You were in, you did your work, you got out. Plus, you had walk-offs in between the 20-minute breaks. And plus, I don't eat lunch at work. Contrary to popular belief, my fat butt is not constantly eating 24 hours a day. The only thing I carry with me in my lunchbox every day is 5 25-ounce bottles of water. And then it became, we got stuck with a lunch because we started running 9-hour days. Then now, it's 6 to 3:30 because we're running 9-hour days. It's like, sheesh. It's enough to drive you bananas. Not much going on the DWSR front. I checked that this morning before I left the house, and I also checked it again. They might be back in studio, for whatever they got left, or because, like I said, getting information out of Bad Wolf is not easy. I do not have any sources inside Bad Wolf, and I'm not going to sit here lie to you and claim I have mystic sources that I don't have. You see, remember, all the productions moved from Rothlock to Bad Wolf. Maybe in the fullness of time, you see, because I'm considered low risk, because I'm not up there, waving my flag, standing there, next to traffic, waving body parts at people. I'm not up there in lights. Yeah, we already talked about that Who's Books. Yeah, that Bonnie Langford was on set last week, which is exciting because I kind of figured something like this might happen now that RTD's back in charge, because I think he wanted to do it a lot. I know Moffat wanted to put past companions back into the show, and I think it was the BBC who said no. And it's almost like they were afraid that they'd have another Sarah Jane Adventures on their hands. I'm not kidding. Well, if we put another companion back on the show, they're going to want to spin off of that character. Then we might have spent money. Yeah, but Sarah Jane Adventures was a hit. Sarah Jane and K9 and all that. And sadly, Sarah Jane Adventures only ended because Liz Sladen passed away. And even a while later, I can't remember, this was a few years ago, when RTD said that he was talking to, great, the name's escaping me at the moment, but it'll hit me in about a half hour after we're done, and it won't matter. But he said he kind of regretted canceling or ending the Sarah Jane adventures. Now you've got some Sarah Jane stuff, the further adventures of the Bannerman Road gang going on Big Finish, and that's something I could never understand. There are so many other characters and out there to explore. And, sadly Liz Sladen's gone, but you could have just renamed the thing the Bannerman Road Gang or whatever and gone on. Well, I avoid junk food like a passion. It's just we're trying to keep my blood sugar level down so we don't say it. I haven't touched a regular candy bar or anything like that in so long. I think I forgot. Even when I walk by that aisle, my sugar level goes up. So it's like I don't like to even mention that. I don't like mentioning Cyberbrig. No. You see, one of the things I could never figure out is one of the tombstones and all that you were supposed to see was Rory and Amy's, and of course it magically disappeared and was never, because they did bring those props out. We had the photos of those props out on set. And I think it was, we do not dare blaspheme the former companions, the only two I didn't turn into godlike immortals. Hang on. Well, the problem is I have to be very careful what fruits and vegetables I eat as well. I have a bit of diverticulitis in the colon, and not as bad as Lady G's, but also some fruits and vegetables have very high sugar levels in them. You have to be very careful with that as well. I know, it's scary. The stuff that's supposed to be good for you will probably kill you. Oh yeah, I eat stuff with dinner like Brussels sprouts, asparagus, broccoli. Things along that line. Heck, it's like we do have like I say, we avoid red meat these days. We do have burgers on occasion, mostly chicken, fish, and things like that these days. Well, the problem is the road I live on. I have been tempted to start doing walks because I know the one intersection is roughly a mile from my house. It's just the road out in front of our house is like a 55-mile-an-hour zone. And considering like after only a couple of years of living here, somebody wasn't paying attention and took out my mailbox. I came home the one day, they had literally hit the empty trash, well, I think it was the empty trash can. They hit it with enough force that it snapped the post of my mailbox. So I had to go pick up another post. Then it started raining as I began digging. By the time I had the hole deep enough, I was soaked to the bone. I got the post in there. Luckily, the mailbox itself was not damaged. It was one of those Rubbermaid deals. So, sink the post, bury it in, and then I had to throw the mailbox on top of it. And the funny part is the guy left almost the entire front tail light. I had the part with the numbers on it, and I gave it to the sheriff's department. Right there, you can run those numbers and know what car it went to. Especially if it's the originals, I mean. I knew a dumbass back in, was it college or high school? The dumbasses got drunk and, of course, went out driving this big Chevy Nova. And for one, never drive drunk. It's stupid. I'd rather, pass out in the back of my car and wake up the following morning relatively sober than try to go home, I don't care what the weather is. It's just too stupid. And so these guys were out there. He ran into the back of another car. So what did the idiot do? Threw the car in reverse, floored it, and took off. That was all fun and games. So he woke up the next morning, and the cops were standing right there on the doorstep, just about, banging on the door. Turns out when these idiots had hit the other car, the front bumper had come off. So in this case, it wasn't the serial number, it was our front driver's license was still attached to the plate on the bumper. Now, Mark, don't say that in front of Lady G. She's already feeling naughty. Because she's got to go get her driver's license renewed. But like I said, I don't even remember when mine needs renewed. I got to double check that again. I think it's like next year. You only got to do them like every 4 or 5 years, something like that, depending on the state, I think. I was just remembering, you're talking about fortune cookies. I was remembering a thing from Jackie Chan Adventures. Never underestimate the power of the cookie. Ugh. Yeah, Chris Chibnall did it. Yeah, well, this was well before Chibs was in charge, so I can't blame the timeless children for it, or can I? Um, I'm dying laughing because all these people who are still taking digs at the guy, and he's been gone for 2 years coming up. If I could get away with it, if I'm sitting out in the living room and I crack a fart, I should look over at Lady G and go, "Sorry, hon, the timeless children did it." You know? Oh, yeah, another photo popped up for Jodie Whittaker. The name of the series is Time. I'm sorry. I want to thank someone who put that in the comment box. I just couldn't remember the name off the top of my head yesterday. And I should remember that. I know, we've disrespected William Hartnell. And I'm like, yeah, just like they did back in 1976. It's totally against the show's canon to have a female doctor. That's funny because the show's creator suggested it in 1986. And they could never. The only answer I ever got to the argument was the dumbest one because, you see, everybody who's seen an adventure in space and time, at least according to some folks out there, think they're now an expert on the show. And it's like, I've read the early years and all that, and well, Sidney Newman didn't want to have the Daleks, and I'm sitting there going, and that was a big mistake. And I'm like, yeah, and he created the show you're whining about. If it wasn't for Sidney Newman, there would have been no Doctor Who, period. But oh well. That's old stuff. We're going to move forward. We're going to look forward to Shooty Gatwa coming, Millie Gibson coming, and yeah, I'll look forward to the new series as it pops up. Well, folks, it is about that time again. So please take care of yourselves out there. Take care of each other out there. And be kind, be calm, be safe. And we'll see you all on the flip side. Have a great morning.